Hello everyone, I'm Chaotic, once again back streaming our good old Project Infinity, and we are doing pretty good now. Last stream we built a bunch of the I believe these are tier 8 solar panels, yep. We gave them their upgrades and they produce 65,000 RF a tick. We did slightly more advancement stuff into Britannia, maybe we'll mess with that more today, I'm not quite sure. And we did some additional stuff with hostile neural networks. Specifically for the solar panels, we have sets of Ender Dragon, prediction matrices, which are giving us eggs and dragon's breath. We also have this one for Enderman, which is just giving us a ton of ender pearls. And that's pretty much it for there. I don't believe we really did anything this section yesterday. Or, well, not yesterday, but last stream. Yeah, we didn't really touch any of that. And our machines are pretty much in the same status as well. So it wasn't too much, and we also, obviously, spent pretty much all of our time focused on making this guy the good old quantum computer, which gives us 3,936 code processors and about 1 billion storage worth of crafts, and this guy can run an infinite number of crafts at the same time. So him combined with our absolutely chonky assembler matrix, which is not even a quarter full. I do like things that are just kind of put in random spots. But yeah, so it's not doing too bad over there either, which is always very nice. Okay, and to just try to get to the point today, because I think last stream I spent about 30 minutes doing like a little catch up on what was going on at the start of the stream. I don't really want to do that this time. Try to be a little bit more efficient with our time, with you guys' time as well, for all the viewers at home. So let's kind of start getting some goals in order. What's up, scamming you? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, so I think today's general plan is I was looking at stuff for the Philosopher's Stone. And one of the things that we're going to need is going to be the Rosarium from the Void Miners mod. And you're going to need at least a tier 7 miner to get to this guy. Remember watching your Meatball Craft videos? Nice. Yeah. An unfortunate end to that series to not be able to like finish the full pack. It made me sad. Lost the stuff whenever my server computer had a problem with its SSD. Apparently the 980 EVO M.2 from Samsung had like some kind of inherent issue with it that at any time it could fully corrupt itself to unrecoverable and physically brick the drive. And there was a simple driver update that you could do to fix it, but they never, contacted people who got them all bought. So there was an update I could have done and never had the issue with it, but then I couldn't because I never knew that was a problem and it bricked the drive, which was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so then I lost the world and stuff because it was all hosted on the server computer. Now I hold backups. I download a backup to my computer every stream, just in case, to make sure that doesn't happen again. Well, yeah, this is what we did yesterday, or last stream too. Is we got our energy cell. So this guy's actually storing about 1.1 trillion RF now in our system. So we've got quite the battery backup going on here too for this guy. So I don't think our RF issue is gonna be anywhere near as prevalent today, especially considering I'm pretty sure we have enough resources to make these guys in mass now as needed. I think the tier 9s we're only blocked by like needing a bit more draconium, but that's not super hard either. So yeah, anyways, small detour there, but we're gonna need Rosarium. Rosarium can come from the up to the tier 7 miner, tier 8, tier 9. Looks like it's slightly weighted better in the nether, so that might be the place to assemble the miners. Do we have, what's it called? Had it on the top of my head for like a singular second and then lost it immediately. Waystones. We do have waystones. Wait, do I already have a warpstone in my system? Interesting. I wonder if I just found one or if I made one. Oh, we have 4 waystones. I must have made these at one point. Intending for probably putting one at the like nether fortress and stuff. Just gonna be lurking? Of course, of course. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. That helps the channel significantly. It helps keep my stuff slightly more discoverable. Yeah, I'll just be cruising through, setting up. I think I'm gonna do void miner stuff today mostly, and then whatever else I have time for really. Yeah. So we need to get up to the amethystine miner. Do these guys have any kind of layout stuff? Do they got a book or something? At the mod specifically. Okay, they have these upgrades for their general storage stuff. With stellar core. It comes from the end. Okay. So I'm not seeing any kind of like assembler tool or anything here. Does the quest for the Void Miner stuff have anything like that? That's interesting. So there's Rubatine and then there's Solar Rubatine? Do these guys need solar of the upgrades? Oh yeah, okay. So you just craft them all. What's up, Hanazia? Okay, interesting. I did hear that these solar panels were very good, and that this ultimate tier, although it's super expensive, was pretty incredible on its production amount. Potentially even better than the just the normal solar panels that take up 1 block each. I don't know. I wonder if these guys can build themselves. I wish it told me. The multi-builder tool helps you. Oh, okay. So this guy, the multi-builder tool, can do that. Okay, well it needs another star. That's a little inconvenient. Hmm. Okay. Um, we have beheading. Can I put it on my sword right now? Do we have beheading as an option here? Or is it going to be higher than that? Higher than that, I think. Pretty sure Reaper is the souls for Draconic Evolution. Hmm. Okay, cannot enchant directly to beheading then. Just curious. Could get Mob Masher upgrades for it. Build out that guy. Hmm. Um. Be loot fabricated. One prediction turns into 3 Wither Skulls. That might be a method. Yeah, I think we can do that. Let's get some model frameworks. I know I don't technically need this to craft these things, but I think having a multi-build just a multi-block builder tool is going to be extremely nice. What did I do here? I must have accidentally vein mined that at some point. Yeah, sorry, I don't need any more bots in my chat. You can be free. Okay. Where oh where was the Nether Fortress? It's right over there. Is that southeast? Is my tunnel still right here somewhere? Nope, of course not. Hate those bots. Yeah, they just I know. Yeah, they do seem real. Well, I think a lot of them aren't even bots. I think a lot of them are like it's an actual person, but they're just, doing their preset things. It's hard to know. It is hard to tell. Where oh where? I definitely mined out of here somewhere. I remember. Yeah, they seem real, and then they ask you for like, oh yeah, what's your Discord and stuff. Like, yeah, and then they're like, oh, I'll do some art for you. Perfect. Here's some wither skeletons. It's just a pen. Don't hit me. Don't do a blaze. Let's just encode all of our models here. fly up and down to try to dodge that blaze a little bit. Throw them on in the deep learner. Then just kill up some of our wither skeletons here. Turn our magnet on. Turn our jetpack off for a second. Dang, I actually got 6 fragments from that immediately. Okay, you didn't all have to have bows here. Little rude man. Guy back on. I do like that this enhanced fortress seems to just spawn a ridiculous amount of the wither skeletons. Nice. Fortress loot, anything good? The compressed stone almost looked like netherite blocks, and I was like, there's just literally no way. I've already got my 6 for my data model, but I might as well kill a few more. Because the data per kill is much better than waiting on the simulation timing. I would have a gun. It looked like he had like a... It almost looked like one of the Tinker's laser guns. Fair enough. A lot of them here. I might actually end up getting enough skulls for my thing before I even have to do the stuff. Because yeah, I've got 36 fragments. Yeah, I have enough for the skulls to make my first wither. That's pretty nice. The question then is, how much do I actually really need 4 data models of wither skeletons now? Because how many do I need? I would need to kill 6 withers to get a wither data model up for nether stars. But I don't know how much else I need wither skeleton skulls for, really. I can do a wither skeleton gateway that just spawns in wither skeletons. Oh my god, that's... Yeah, okay. Alright. We have the data models. I'll put them in the system for now. We're not even going to need those, though. Because what I can do here... We'll use these wither skull fragments we got here. That makes us 5 wither skeleton skulls. We're going to turn one of these into... What's this? Of the Harbinger? Is that like a boss or something? Don't know, it takes another star to make that one, though. I'm interested in what that role is. Whatever the Harbinger. I don't know. We'll mess with that later. But yeah, so some crying obsidian, you just craft that for normal obsidian. We can make the gateway pearl of the gateway of the wither skeleton. And it says each tier of it, you know, we get 5, so 15, 30, 50, 75 plus 60. So you get 135 wither skeleton loot rolls for killing all of these guys. Not to mention the base wither skeletons themselves. What I can do real quick is we'll just encode the mob masher for the beheading stuff. Give it iron helmets and gold helmets. Throw these guys in. Now, if I request beheading upgrades, just order 10 of them real quick. Instantaneously done. God, our crafting system's so nice. I'm happy I made that like first main focus. We throw the 10 beheading upgrades inside this mob masher we got over here. He's already got looting upgrades. What are the other mob grinding util upgrades? Oh, fire smite. I wonder if I have enough rotten flesh for the smite upgrade. It doesn't really matter. It'll do fine. We could maybe give it smite eventually if I care enough. But now, if we just toggle this guy on, throw our gateway pearl right here, because it just spawns in wither skeletons. So they're going to die to this guy with 10 beheading upgrades. We're going to get straight up full wither skeleton skulls off these guys, like, inherently immediately. Oh my god, look. All 3 of them dropped one. Yeah, so the first three skeletons, all three drop the skull each, and enough skull fragments for another skull. Oh man, this might be guaranteed skulls with the 10 beheading upgrades now. That might be 10% per upgrade. Yeah, that's kind of what that's looking like. Yeah, we're already up to 11 here. Okay, well, this solves our skulls requirements. Stand over this so the wither skeleton stops trying to escape it. Well, we have enough skulls already for the 6 withers we would need for a data model. That is something we will have to data model because building withers is never the most efficient option. Ever. Move over to the sides there. Aggro stops fighting the conveyors there. Dang. 27 wither skeleton skulls there. Turn this guy off so I don't hurt myself on him later. Plus a bunch of the wither and necrotic bones just in case I need them. A bunch of wither skull fragments. Don't really need them for anything else, so I'll just convert them all into skulls. Yeah, 51 wither skeleton skulls. Yeah, okay. The data models for those ones not needed then. Alright. So now we need a nether star. Let's check and make sure that there's not anything else we can get these from. Oh, you can make them with wither predictions and nitro crystals to make like more of them. Don't think that matters though. Yeah. Okay. Is there wither-proof things? Wither-proof blocks and stuff from mystical agriculture, but those take wither like essence, wither skeleton essence, tier 5 seed, so it's gonna be a menace to make. Immune to light, explosions, and wither blast from cyclic for dark glass, which is black stained glass and obsidian. Okay. Well, black dye is pretty easy. Let's just get ourselves a mystical black flower. We'll convert them all into petals. It didn't mean to replace them. Convert them all into petals again. Just grow a bunch of them at one time. There we go. And we'll just convert 37 into black dye. That should be pretty good. Then our black stained glass, will take out 3 stacks of it. Make our tempered dark glass. Where should we put a wither cage? It's only going to be temporary. We only need to kill 6. So, I suppose it can just go like right here. Seal this guy in. Perfect. Little 2-block entrance, 3-block room. We have enough glass, actually. We're gonna add an extra layer to the roof there. Sometimes if it's 1 layer thick, they can bug out of it. Maybe add a layer on the sides and back as well. Let's put a few extra blocks here manually. So I don't have much else. Okay. Do we have soul sand in the system? We do have 22. That's not gonna be enough. We could make some, or we can just go right on back into the nether real fast. I also in hindsight, totally forgot to put another waypoint there, which I meant to do at the fortress. So we'll go and do that real quick too. Wrong way. This way. That's like a boss arena right there. We'll deal with that guy eventually. Fortress. Work back home. I got hit by that guy. Nice, no XP cost or anything either. This is soul soil. Soul sand. I think what happened is I think I had a bunch of soul sand and I just sieved it all. I'm pretty sure. There you go. About 6 stacks of soul sand sounds pretty good to me. There's a chest here. Is there anything cool in here? No, not really. No. Trying to see if any of the loot in here was worth it. It doesn't really look like it though. You can just ignore him. Okay, so the soul sand, grab ourselves our wither skulls. And hope that this doesn't go horribly wrong. Turn off our jetpack, because that's going to make this a little annoying. Oh, actually, let's grab 4 model frameworks real fast. Oh god, he's spawned on the roof and taking damage. Oh, he's also blind because of that. So I wonder if this still works the same way, where now this is technically a melee hit, so it can hurt him past half HP. Oh no, doesn't work for that. It's fine. We'll stab him to death for the rest of it. Nice. Got ourselves a good old wither star. I said a wither star. Nether star. Cool. Spawn in 2 at a time here. Should probably be fun. Let's eat one of our relic apples here. This will give us the strength bonus. What if I can do all 3 at the same time? Favorite part of this mod is whenever you get 18 good power and the pack just skyrockets in pace. Yeah, like, I made my main focus the assembler matrix and the quantum computer. It took a lot of resources to get it, but now that I have them, like, everything else I want to do is so much easier. All of my crafting now is so much quicker. It's just, it is by far my favorite part. I used to be, like, whenever I'd played early on in mod and stuff, I really wouldn't mess with AE2 that much or automation and stuff. Like, I would do everything manually, man, but it's so much nicer once you, like, figure out how to do all of your auto crafting and everything. And you're like, oh man, wait, this is actually really good. The amount of time save it is, and then you get to, like, it ends up being more of a logistics thing than, like, oh, enjoy your 52,000 crafting recipes. Because I don't find that grindy stuff, like, super enjoyable to me. It's part of my issue with, like, Greg Tech and stuff, is I don't want to have to do 5 million hand-done crafting recipes until I can even get to an AE2 system. Like, it's miserable. Yeah, I love the same thing. Just the pace increase. It just gets to more like, what are you prepping for, what are you working on kind of thing, instead of a grind this and then grind that. And you get to do things to such a scale that even things that are like originally grindy, you're actually just making, enough sets of this stuff at one time that it's not a grind for you at all anymore. It's always nice. Okay. So we got some wither data models. How many nether stars we're gonna really need for stuff right now? I don't think we really need a bunch. I guess we'll set them up real quick anyways. I was really just looking for a reason to be slightly lazy, but we should set these guys up. Get a loot fabricator, get ourselves some simulation chamber. Dude, with the quantum, anything that's just crafting recipes is literally done instantly. Because you can parallel up to 4,000 at a time. It's so great. There's literally no crafting time whatsoever anymore. It's fantastic. Let's grab some pipes. Small item pipes and some small energy pipes should be plenty. Let us get this guy. So he's going to need a generalized nether prediction. And how much do these guys take per? 25, 60? Yeah, so we're still fine. I was just making sure we weren't going to outdo the 100,000 per tick for the small energy pipe. This whole system is going to get a rework at some point as well, off of the pipes mod, I think, as I get to higher energy requirements, because then I need to upgrade all the pipes and everything, and then that's going to be, you know, kind of a menace on its own. Also, I was looking at the upgraded simulation chambers and loot fabricators and such, and like what those actually did. And the first tier is just literally 4 times better. So the first tier of the simulation chamber acts like 4 simulation chambers. It does 4x production, but I also think it needs a specialty model, which is a combined model of 4 other model types. And I assume they can all be the same mob, or you can have like a variety of mobs for a bunch of different predictions. And the loot fabricator variant just processes 4 times more, 16 times more, 32 times more, or a stack all at one time. So they're pretty interesting. Make sure we hold right click force joint on these guys. So we'll eventually revamp this whole system. The problem is those just take a copious amount of netherite, which we do not have even a minor amount of right now, I think. I think this loot fabricator we used, yeah, we're down to 4 netherite ingots, so we're not quite really in a position for that right now. However, once I do the void miner stuff I want to do today, we should actually end up in a pretty okay spot netherite wise, because I'm gonna put them in the nether because they get. It looks like they get twice the crystal yield from the nether, and they will also all have a chance of getting ancient debris that way, which will be very nice. Okay, so these guys will all stay on passive as per usual. And these guys are on retrieve, and you have to set it for NBT as well. So set this guy wither prediction retrieve to a wither prediction with NBT on. Take the Ender Dragon prediction out of it. Go in there. These guys are all on passive, and as soon as we insert a model in each one, they should all start working. And they're getting their prediction matrices. Perfect. They're all full on those. These guys will probably take a bit to actually successfully proc. We are going to need these guys to run the Wither Hearts at some point too. For this ultimate heart. What's this even used for? Ultimate Infinity Seeds. The Chaos Shard. You only need one of them though. Tiny Chaos Fragments. Oh, I see. This recipe's better. Okay, so you don't really need much of this. I'll be able to do that by hand later, is effectively what I was checking. You guys all only have a 6% chance. Kind of just chilling to wait and see if we get a prediction. I guess worst case, it stacks up a couple predictions in there and it'll catch back up. Because they're not, going to get to self-aware anytime soon. But now that we got those initial 6 guys, we should be able to make the multi-builder tool. Make ourselves the beacon. Make the multi-builder itself. It says shift right click to open the GUI. Does have an inventory storage. Looks like it stops charging whenever you have it open. Choose a structure. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Gives you the full rundown of all the blocks you need for it too. That is pretty neat. I like the 16 by 16 fission reactor from Nuclear Craft just being absolute nonsense. That's about what you'd expect. That's great. Okay, so if I look up Void, I can indeed just see all of the Void miners and exactly what they need. Oh, well, that's pretty nice. Okay, well, 20 Rubatine frames, 9 glass panels, and the Rubatine miner. That's all we need. Oh, and you can even paste nuclear craft reactor designs. So if you run that one website specifically to check for the best design that you need for whatever you're trying to work on. Neat. Oh, nice. And it says you can shift and scroll your mouse wheel. So if it wasn't completely even, this would actually rotate the multi-block too. Wow. Hey, fair enough. What a cool little thing. Big fan, big fan. Okay. Oh, it does look like it clears if you reopen the GUI, which makes sense. The 20 Rubatine frames, some glass panels, and Rubatine miner. Good old. Oh, gotta close out of that section. It was yoinking it. Rubatine frame, Rubatine miner, glass panel. Cool. Okay, so code this. That's just obsidian. Encode the recipe for the Rubatine. Oh, it actually wants us to make 100 of this and hold it in our inventory, so we'll try to remember to do that first. Encode this guy and the Rubatine blocks and the glass panel and structure panels. Should be everything. Okay, so Rubatine. Click on this guy. Give us 100. Instantly generates it all. Finishes our quest. Perfect. Give us our Rubatine miner. Ton immediately, dude. 20 frames. Oh, we forgot the frame base. I kind of just assumed it was going to be structure panels for the frame base. I didn't expect it to be like another additional thing separate. So 20 frames. Ton immediately. And get our 9 glass panel. That's quantum computer panels. Or structural glass or whatever. 9 glass panels. Beautiful. Okay. Um, these guys. It actually looks like the basic one has the same weight for the nether as it does for the overworld stuff. Although the thing is, we don't really need any of the overworld ores, but we could use ancient debris from the nether, so we might as well still put them in the nether. They need to go down to bedrock, so I'm assuming top of the nether is probably our best move for these guys. Also keeps you out of dealing with the annoying mob situation. Uh, okay, we have normal ender chest. I think it's what, dimensional chests? It is. So we could use dimensional chests as our like general transport system, or we can get good old quantum ring from just 82 and send a quantum ring over instead. Let us get. That's funny. I don't know dense cable. Encode dense cable real fast. Because for some reason we don't have that. Okay. Let's get like 100 dense cable real quick. Let us encode the stuff for the quantum ring. And then it's going to be the link chamber. Upload that pattern to the matrix core. Upload that one too. I wonder if that quantum ring's going to work with it wanting a white cable, if the substitution's going to work or not. Let us see. So 2 link chambers. Perfect. And then we need 16 rings. Nope. Let me grab our ring back out of there. Go to our pattern terminal. Okay. Well, on the bright side, it's just in the crafting thing, so we can search ring in here. Should be able to find it. Yep. Forget you can't search by pattern in the pattern terminal. This guy, do a dense fluix. Ooh. Is it just a covered cable? No. Is it a smart cable? It's dense smart cable. Okay. Dense covered cable. Fluix dense smart cable. Upload this guy. Just make one of them so that it'll track properly. Quantum ring. Take him back out. Upload that recipe. Now we should be able to get 16 of these guys, no problem. And done instantly. God, I love it so much. Okay, so these guys, I assume, are still linked by like a singularity that you have to explode or something. Quantum entangled singularity. Okay, pretty simple. Just, yeah, singularity and good old ender pearl dust as per usual. Give me a singularity real quick. Perfect. And do I have any TNT? Ooh, I do have some normal TNT. Not sure if this actually explodes or not. Like in my section, if it'll actually like break something. Let's use the lever. We will just build off a little bit of cobblestone this way. I normally just do it in water, but I actually don't really care that much. Turn off my magnet for now. Perfect. Also, doesn't break blocks. Good to know. Got our quantum entangled singularities. And we can kind of just form a quantum ring wherever we want. Thinking we can start the spaghetti on this wall slightly for fun. Do it elevated. it'll be controlled spaghetti. Unlike Meatball Craft, I'll keep it under wraps a little bit. Make sure that we're not ending up in too ridiculous of a position. There we go. Get this guy, throw in one singularity here. And we got our waystone on us. Head on back into the end, the nether. Oh, actually, let's go back real fast. What I want to grab is some mega torches. I knew that we had extras in here. Yeah, we go back to the nether. Fly straight up. And God, I forget everything. I need my ender pearl so I can glitch to the roof. Fine. Fine. God, we're up to 700,000 ender pearls, and we literally just set those up like 2 days ago. Quite a ridiculous quantity of them. How in the world is my pickaxe gone? How did I even do this? Alright. Going back to the overworld one more time. You know what I need to make? I need to make the Aldemodium one. Maybe we'll work on that after we get the miner going so it can start operating. Um, Make an emerald pickaxe, sure. Takes emerald blocks, I don't care. Could have made a normal diamond one. I actually don't think the emerald has any advantage over the diamond. I think it might have a slightly higher mining level, which is nice. Oh, nice. Already here. Ta-da! Onto the nether roof. Okay. So press F9. We'll go and stand right here in the center of these 4 chunks. Claim and load these 4. Let us put our waystone down here for, let's call it nether void miners. We'll name it fully, might as well. Okay, multi-builder tool. Grab him, select the miner block, click it, and I'll put him like right here. It says not enough rubitine frames. Insufficient blocks, need rubitine frame, more 20. Did not only need 20? Yeah, it only needs 20. What are you talking about? I got the miner, I got the frames, I got the glass panels. Oh wait, you put them in the tool. I was like, that's what those slots are for. There we go. That was really easy. Nice, it also instantly places the blocks and everything too. Guy's nice and constructed. He sees the bedrock. You guys can't see the chat stuff, but it says it needs 3,000 RF a tick, has a 10 million energy buffer, and it even tells you what modifiers you have installed and what its energy, speed, and item multipliers are. I wonder what its item storage on this directly is. I'd assume this feeds out directly into a chest. Ooh, we're too far from our system. Forgot about that. Okay. Well, now we can go back to the overworld real quick. Let's get ourselves an interface. We'll just try an interface directly on it first. And then we will worry about a chest if that doesn't work, maybe. What's it gonna give us? Hold on. Rubitine miner. Let's make sure this isn't gonna like spam our storage thing weird, right? Ah, nah. We'll have nether quartz ore, nether gold ore, but we can always deal with that kind of stuff on its own later on. We'll get the rubitine and arantum. Also, one of the things too is that with less total options of things, these being at weight 2 are still worth more. You know, since there's only weight 10 on the nether quartz is the highest one, versus you've got weight 12 on copper and 16 on coal and 8 on iron. Then you got 2 6s for redstone and lapis, 4 on gold, 2 on diamond, and then even 1 on emerald. So you have a much higher chance statistically to even get the crystals for the nether run. So I think this is definitely the play. I think we're gaming here. We're gonna need a flex point too. We're gonna get 2 of them just in case, because I don't remember if the quantum ring on the other side will power itself nowadays or not, or if we still need to power both. It actually might say. Both sides got to be chunk loaded. Nothing about both sides needing power anymore, so the system might provide the power. Oh, that's the fortress. Wood miners. Alright, we'll build our good old quantum ring. We'll build them on the floor right here. No particular reason. Connect them in. Device offline. Okay, so I think we are going to need it to have individual power then. Back home again. Energy acceptor. Go back. Hey, at least these portals are very convenient for this purpose. Flux point. Set it to just the power grid. But that's interesting. It still says device offline. Hold on. Back home again. I'm stupid. That would be why. That would make sense. I forget. It has to connect to one of these, one of the edges. One of the fat sides has to be what's actually touching it. Connect these guys real fast. Change our stuff back to shapeless. So power might still be unnecessary there. There we go. This guy's online. Let's go back over. This guy's online. What if I break this? Yep, still online. Okay, so he manages his own power now automatically from the system. That's cool. This guy probably spits out on top of itself, as per usual. You can have the flex point now. Oh, it even tells me the progress. Once again, you guys can't see this. You can't see chat. It's behind where my screen is. But every time I right-click on it, it has like a little progress bar that updates. That's cool. Cool. The interface is online. Yeah, so its duration for this basic guy is 1,000 ticks. If he spits directly out into the interface, and this just yoinks straight out into my system, it's at 95%. Let's just watch this and see if anything goes in here. I didn't see anything, does not mean it didn't happen. Oh no, he's still got it in his inventory. Okay. So let me try to move the interface down to the side. Nope, still in his inventory. Alright. Let me try pulling out of the inventory manually. Let's go back home. Pipe. Sure. We'll use a medium item pipe, we might as well. Go back. These guys are kind of chunky. Connect from there. Extract. Okay, that works. Cool, and this guy can manage up to 100 items a tick. So this should handle his processes and everything just fine. Well, that was one nether gold. They only take 3,000 RF a tick, so how much of a floor plan is this? 5x5 on underneath? Yeah, we can add a few more here. Maybe wireless connectors too. Let's think. We moved him over one block. Then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. I don't even know why I'm counting these. Obviously, we have one block extra. It's 16 by 16 for a chunk. So I could get 3 in a row. Pretty sure I could get another 3 in a row. Could get like 7 or 8 of these in total going. That'd really increase our initial amounts here. That'd also give us a lot more ancient debris and stuff. And we're gonna need a ton of netherite for stuff later, I saw. So that might be the play. Let's look to get 8 in total, so we'll get 7 more. So Rubitine frames. Let's make 160. Instantly, nice. I said 8 in total, so 7 more, and then I proceeded to make 160, which was enough for 8. So we'll make 8 more, and then 72 glass panels. I think that sounds right. Okay. Get ourselves some wireless connectors. So this will be 9 in total, so we need 18 of these guys. This will just clean up our system a little bit. Interfaces, we can get 8 more. Let's do the crafting up to the medium item pipe. So for the smalls, and we already know that one, so nice. Medium item pipes, I'll just make it like 100 real quick. You got a stack. Okay, so we got the wireless connectors. We need the wireless connector setup kit. We've got all the frames, all of the miners themselves, all the glass panels, an interface for each one, the pipes to connect them all, and some extra cable on us too. Okay, should be good. Let's go and set up 9 miners. Nope. That's what we need. 8 more flex points. That's what it was. I was like, I feel like I'm missing something still. I guess we have 9 now. That's fine. Alright, so let me break all of these. Up over in our chunk stuff again. Break this guy all the way down. Turn off our jetpack real quick. We keep just floating because of it. Okay. Open up this guy, fill him with all of the panels, frames, miners themselves. Perfect. Guy's perfectly on the edge. Can they share blocks? This side, in theory, should be able to share, right? Ah, no. At least the multi-builder doesn't like it. They can probably share blocks, but we just won't. We'll just place them gapped. That's fine. These are all in the same chunk. Perfect. Let us break this guy. We'll move him. Nice, that is 9 void miners set up. Cool, cool. Reset up our little quantum ring. Kind of stuff. Okay. Set him up on this side. Make him vertical. Put this thing back in. Turn him on. Cool. Just gonna cable off this side over all of the wireless connectors. Alright, each one we can use a piece of cobble first. It's funny, they have like, there's like depth to their block, and that depth is like clickable, so you can put things off on the side on accident. Put an interface on top of each piece of cobble. Then on top of each interface, we'll stick a wireless connector. Go. Turn off our jetpack once again. Click, click. Extract. Keep forgetting to shift click on the top guy. And the center guy. Extract all of these. Let's put down our flux points on each one. Set them all to power. Make sure that they're power, not power in. They're going to all go on random sides, once again, because the block depth is placing blocks weird. That's fine. Cool. They're all getting power now. Turn our flying back on, grab our wireless connector kits, and start doing these guys. So we'll bind the closer ones to the further ones first. Thankfully, these guys all glow whenever they're connected, which makes your life much easier on, like, accidentally misclicking things. We probably could have done them not in a line, could have done them in, like, a little circle or something. Saved ourselves a little bit of distance, but I think the RF difference there is pretty negligible for all of these. The worst one of these is probably like only 100 RF a tick extra or something. And I'm not particularly worried about that. You can check real quick, I guess. I think they tell you. 70, 60, 65, 52, 55, 44, 73, 58, 44. Yeah, so the worst one's 73 RF a tick. Negligible. That should be all of these guys operational now. This guy went first in the center. Just make sure he works. He got nether gold ore, it looked like, and sent out just fine. Perfect, cool. So that is 9 of these initial guys running, which is really all we need to set up there. We'll upgrade all of these miners at some point later on. That just kind of gets us started on these. Very nice. Okay. So, how much do we need for the next tier of miners? So we need 36 of the Urantium frames, and they'll also have 2 null modifiers. So, Urantium miner, Urantium block. You can't just craft the Urantium, right? Yeah, okay. So you do have to get it from the miners themselves. Good to know. Sometimes mods let you do, like, just expensive crafts to circumvent things slightly. Urantium frame. It'll take Rubatine frames, noted, and Urantium. And then it was just also still glass panels, right? Yep, 23 glass panels instead, and then the null modifiers. We'll set up the null modifiers, and then we'll swap these all out by hand. They have different tiers for all the modifiers. There's item modifiers, speed modifiers, and I think there's energy modifiers too. Yeah. I don't know how much those will be important to me once again. Considering even if I like maxed out some speed upgrades or item upgrades or something, I think it'd still be perfectly manageable. Yeah, item modifier, you get 50% more items for 50% more power usage. So, if I did 2 of those on the Urantium miner, let's just take a look. It takes 3,500 a tick. So I'd increase it to 7,000 RF a tick instead to get twice the item output for it. Like, that's not a big deal. So, no major problem there. Like, what's the worst miner, actually? Trying to see if I can get it to be specific. Okay. Yeah, even the ultimate miner is only 7,000 a tick. Yeah, so their costs are so low that even if you just did ridiculous amounts of upgrades in them with no energy upgrades whatsoever, these guys are probably not even touching 100k a piece. I bet you they're all handled by like 1 solar panel each of our current tier of solar panel. No biggie at all. Let's actually put all these in, just upload them to the matrix core. The little upload thing's pretty cool. I like this. Okay. Like, what's our Rubatine? We're up to 9 rubatine already. 6 Arantium. Nice. We needed, how many was it? 36 frames, 2 null modifiers, which don't take any, and the Arantium miner. So, one miner is going to take 12, no, missing 12. So, it takes 18 Arantium for the miner, and 144 for the frames. I can't do math. 162. So we need 162 Arantium per tier 2 miner, but the tier 2 will let us put upgrades in it. How much is the... How much of a boost are those? Speed modifiers are 10% faster. Speeds just lose out pretty heavy to item amount then, I think. Because the Rubatine one is 10% faster for 10% more energy. Versus I could just get 50% more items also for the Rubatine tier. So I could either do 2 speed modifiers for 20% quicker, or 2 item modifiers for twice the items, which is effectively 2 times quicker. I assume there's a better ratio of these to mix later on. I don't know math, so I can't do that like by head. Like, by head. In my head is what I meant to say. I can't do that math in my head to see like which one would be more specifically good. But that's pretty good. That's not too bad. 162 each. We're at 6. Yeah, so that's going to take a little while. We set up 9 of them, so it won't take that long at least. And worst case, that's something that'll like happen, you know, overnight or whatever. And the instant you get to the second tier, typically it's a little bit quicker, and you start getting more of it because you get to use some of the modifiers and stuff on them. So it scales quite nicely into the future. Put away our multi-builder tool, all of our other stuff. We'll keep the deep learner on me. I might as well. Okay, so we got the miners started. Now it's just a matter of kind of waiting for the extra 160 of those guys. The solar rubatine is just craftable, but you know he generates 512 RF attack or whatever. They're not worth doing until you get to the higher tiers. Like this amethystine one with no upgrades generates about as much as my total setup does, which is pretty good. Actually, let's get the multi-tool. I was curious because those ones didn't show what like their actual cost and stuff was, but I can probably check in here. Amethystine solar panel. So it would take 44 of the frames. One panel, and it has 12 modifier slots. So like the rubatine upgrade's only 2%. The amethystine is a 13% upgrade. Now is that multiplicative or additive is kind of the question. Probably additive. So let's grab that real quick. So 1.13 times our 12 slots or whatever. I did not do that right. Eh. No, it would be 0.13 times 12. So yeah, so 1.56 times more or whatever. So 2.56 is like its actual total ratio. So 2.56 times the, what was it, 524,000? I think is what it said its space ratio was. Yeah. Times 524, 288. Yeah, so that would generate 1.3 million RF for the solar amethystine panel with amethystine upgrades. Rosarium panel, the instant you get to that one, then generates 8 million, 8.3 million base, and probably also has 12 modifiers. Let's see. Ooh, no, it actually kicks up to 16. And its modifiers are like 1% better, I think. I think they're 14% too. Okay. The Rosarium's probably pretty worth building because he's not even that big either. I thought these were bigger multi-blocks for the solar panels, but 7 by 8 by 7 is pretty small. That is noted. I wonder if the end is permanently daytime for these. That's how a lot of solar panels and a lot of mods work. I wonder if that's still the case in this one. I guess there's only one way to find out with that eventually, huh? Also, actually, since we're talking about the end, let's grab our last waystone, eat another slice of this cake, and then go and throw this in here. And dimensional ore. I thought that was draconium, so I was gonna grab it. I'll grab it anyways. Got any draconium around here? It glitters, so it's usually pretty easy to see. Surely some spawns on the initial end island. Or it just doesn't glitter anymore. Dimensional ore just looks really close to like what my brain wants to think it looks like. Float underneath somewhere. Surely there's some. I was just gonna grab a little and then see like how realistic it was to manually mine a bit for, you know, like solar panels or something. Or just like general draconium requirements. Okay, not great. Not seeing any. Draconium. Yeah, still glitters. Oh, there's some. 2 blocks here. How much does this actually give you though? Like I got 7 from that. If I had a fortune enhanced pickaxe, that'd be pretty realistic. And we could undoubtedly still fly out to look for like the since we have draconic evolution in this, they no doubt still have their meteors or whatever that spawn a bunch of it. All the external end islands and things too. So that's something. We could do that at some point. Or poem. Okay. 15 Arantium, so we're already about 10% of what we need for our first tier 2. I think I might leave all of the tier 1s and just add the tier 2s around for now and keep the tier 1s just operational instead of replacing them out. Just place the tier 2s in the other chunks that are around there that I had already loaded. And then we can change that up again like later. We can cut out all the smaller ones once we start getting to the higher tiers. But keep those going just for our general passive stuff. Also because the bigger, like the better miners are slightly bigger, so they're going to be not quite as easy to fit in the same slot. Things like that. Okay, so what else can we work on right now then? Because that guy is a waiting game. This is like boss related stuff. Like finding elytra and stuff. Find an end city. Get some shulkers. Do we need shulker shells or anything? Not really. Oh, let's go and check on our wither predictions. Should be. Ooh, yeah, there's a whole stack in here. Ooh, dang, really? Ah, these guys are already up to like 38% on each one. Nice. Alright, well, start your crafting down of netherstars. Oh, we forgot. These guys are specifically supposed to also have another item pipe here. This guy stays on passive so that it can actually take out the result. Because that one over there is set on retrieve. So you need one passive and then one also set to retrieve to take the predictions in that it needs. Yeah, hopefully this guy runs through all of these predictions just fine. I guess actually easy way to do it too would be take out 58 of these guys. Just throw them in here and set this guy on nether stars too. Since that one was used for the sheep, but the sheep are currently taken out. Actually, I could have just used this system. I totally forgot. I could have just replaced the models in here. I forgot I had 4 empty ones because I took the sheep out until I was just saying it right now. Yeah, so we can use that for whatever our next thing that we decide needs a data model. Okay, so that's getting our nether stars automated. So we should already have a pretty decent amount of these guys. 41, very nice. Have we got any ancient debris from these guys yet? Hey, they got us 1. We're up 1 ancient debris. Very nice. Let's actually encode this guy. So you can make the okay, we already encoded all that. I was pretty sure we did, but I was just double checking. So like 1 netherite ingot. If we wanted to make 1 guy, would just take the 1 ancient debris, 3 gold dust. It would work all the way through. So 1 ingot every time we get one of these debris in, which is very nice. We're not going to get a bunch of them, but we will get some. Especially as we tier up the miners. I guess actually let's check the miners again real fast too. Anything interesting from... Okay, the tier 1 can't do anything in the end. Neither can the tier 2. The tier 2 gets a lot more junk in the overworld, but still nothing we really need. Unless we're going to need all of these random things, which I guess is possible. Like, you'll need some topaz for the ultimate gem and stuff, but... I don't know. We'll probably set up one of the higher tier miners, as long as these things aren't lost as you go up in tiers, but I assume they just keep getting more and more things. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so we'll use them in the nether to get their crystals, and then we'll put some high tier ones in the overworld at some point. As needed. Okay, well tier 7s can start getting end ore. Can tier 6s get end ore? Oh, okay, so tier 7's where that starts. The amethystine miner has the ability to mine in the end. And it doesn't even get any crystals in the end either. It's purely just for end ore only. Gets an aquata. You get... Oh, it doesn't get draconium. I was curious if it would. Solium, bench weight. All the specialty nether ores from silent gems pretty much. And still ancient debris, like usual. What about the rosarium tier? Rosarium tier gives you dragon eggs occasionally. Let's ring my doorbell. Other people are home though, they should be able to answer that. Nothing too interesting here so far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I did at one point as I looked at all of these miners and was like, they don't really give you much that you need, but you do unfortunately need the higher tier crystals. Well, the ultimate miner, at a weight of 0.000000001, can give you the parts of the infinity stuff, also singularities and things. I think that gets kind of beaten out though by the yeah, you can make that ultimate seed or whatever for ultimate essence. And then just craft that into the ultimate gem, blocks, hearts, things like that. Okay. So build them all in the nether, and then we'll throw one in the overworld, one in the end as well, once they're up to a high tier. Just to get all of the other side resources as needed. What was it? There was a creature that I was like, oh, we should probably farm this guy then with a woot. It was the other day. It was something from the Chaos mod. It was like Born in Chaos. You got dark metal from him. Who was it? The Fallen Chaos Knight. Because he gives you also the dark metal smithing template or whatever. Oh yeah, if you wanted to upgrade your meshes to a higher tier. Totally gave. Yeah, I suppose so. Actually, that's something. No, possessed hoglins drop netherite scrap. But it's specifically, you have to do it from, they're like an occultism ritual. You can also give you the smithing template. Hmm. That'd be a pretty effective way to get a bunch of stuff. Do a fully upgraded Woot on a possessed Hoglin, because Woot should emulate player kills typically to build out its drop table. I'd assume that hasn't changed over time. I'm curious if that still operates in the same way, because if it does, it's really strong. That is quite good. Every roughly 3 mob kills, well, with looting and stuff, even less than that, would give you a 1 netherite scrap. Hmm. Because the other guys were to upgrade the meshes. What did the upgraded meshes give? I think it was because we could get the nuggets from sieves, right? Yeah. Although you can also get them from the auto sieve itself. What does this guy take? Wait, that's easy. Hold on. And that's just the tier 1. What's his multi-block take? Sieve. Factory blocks, clear glass. An item port input and output. An auto sieve machine controller, that's the thing we were looking at, which wasn't bad. A block of netherite diamond. That's not too bad. That's 9 netherite ingots. That's very manageable. We could actually hand farm for that. 9 auto mechanical sieves, 4 technical blocks. That's like a chiseled block, I think. It's those factory fans on the top that you can see on the corners. 1 refined glowstone, and some gigantic energy port inputs. That looks very achievable. What's the tier 2 take? Citrinatine block. That's its additional. What's it replacing? Nothing? Maybe there's empty space inside that it replaces. They need an amethystine block for the tier 3 and a crimson dragonstone block. Wait, is that the only difference? Crimson dragonstone was the upgraded Botania thing. Elven trade, shadow dragonstone, and crimson ingot. Elven trade, shadow ingot, and a saffron dragonstone. Saffron ingot, malachite dragonstone. Dragonstone, malachite ingot. The normal dragonstone's mana diamond. Malachite ingot, 750,000. Terrasteel elementium Gaia. Saffron ingot. A million. Gaia spirit ingot instead of Gaia spirits. Malachite ingot. Block of Terrasteel. Okay. So, these get pretty expensive pretty quickly. Noted, noted. I was just curious how far that actually was. I'm like, because that's the tier 4. It just takes a copious amount of mana, really. And a few Guardian of Gaia fights. There's a Guardian of Gaia prediction? Okay, well that's super easy Gaia spirits then. Well, that's noted. You got the factory upgrades and stuff too. Hmm. Well, the sieve is very possible. I think we can do everything for this one already. Citrinatine, I think that was tier 4, right? We right click on, he's tier 3. So the tier, oh, I guess we'll actually get the Citrinatine from the tier 2 miner then. Yeah, and you only need 9 of it for that. Well, that's noted. Okay. That's very possible to get that that auto sieve block operational, because that was once again the tier 2, right? Yeah. Once you get to amethystine, that's your tier 3, then obviously all the way through Botania for the tier 4. But the sieve differences weren't significant other than just the amount it did at one time. Oh, and it's faster. My bad. It takes 1 second for the tier 1, half a second for the tier 2, and does 4 times as much. A fifth of a second for the tier 3 and does 16. And then it takes a singular tick, 1/20th of a second, per stack of the tier 4. Although this also does require you to get Blackstone en masse. There's also an auto crusher. I wonder how expensive the crusher is. It'd be kind of weird if it was super expensive. Surprisingly kind of expensive. Considering I could also just use the external, I guess the mechanical crushers probably just don't keep up though for trying to crush 64 items a tick. Although does this crusher keep up with that? I would assume it would, right? Just 5 per, so tier 3 probably does the full stack worth for all of these. Okay, yeah. Oh, it actually produces a little bit more. So 2 of these could operate 3 full speed sieves. Or it can operate 1 full speed sieve and have extra blackstone. Noted. Yeah, and your only other way really is using mechanical hammers. I don't think you can make anything like indestructible. I have like the Eternal Stella, right? No. Well, that's not too bad. These guys are going. We got our nether stars operational and stuff too. Unfortunately, I've gotten a message here that I do think I'm gonna need to go here for just some light stuff. No big deal though. I just need to go and do some stuff for the fam. So unfortunately, today's stream's gonna have to end pretty short. My apologies, guys. Only about an hour-long stream is a little sad, but we did get some stuff going, and this will help us next stream get our next tier of miner and things. I might even do a small offline recording of this, like tomorrow or something, if I don't have time to do a full stream, where I just record my little segment of like putting the new miners down and stuff, so they'll make it in the video at least. Yeah, thank you guys for dropping by. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you lurking too. And I hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic rest of their afternoon, and catch you guys next time. Thank you so much. Peace.